Proofing, and in this episode we're going to talk about the catalyst addition that we're going to need to ensure that our resins cure. And the catalyst is going to be used in base coat and top coat, isn't it?
Yes.
It's very important we use it in both.
We had many calls saying that the top coat isn't going off, and we said, well, did you put the catalyst in there? And they went, oh,
yeah,
didn't know it was supposed to.
So run me through the catalyst, Sean. What's the purpose of the catalyst?
So the purpose of the catalyst is to set the resin hard. Now the polyester resin is a thermo-setting plastic. It actually needs heat for it to cure. So on hot days it's going to cure really quickly, on cold days it's going to cure really slowly. So what we have to do is regulate the amount and type of catalyst that we put into our resin.
Almost like a balancing act.
It is. You have to take the temperature readings of the day. And the first process is to decide which is the best catalyst to use for that particular temperature. And the next process is to decide the percentage.
Yeah.
And then the third process is to decide the amount. Sounds complicated, but hopefully we can describe it
not really,
to make it very simple.
So as far as catalysts go, we've got two different size containers. If you're doing lots of laminating, you're probably going to be using the large containers. We do have the smaller ones as well. So we've got winter catalyst. Obviously we're going to be using in the colder weather, and then we've got summer catalyst.
That's it.
Pretty much the rest of the year, and extra slow summer catalyst for those very rare days. One day in August when the temperatures exceed sort of like 28 degrees.
That's it.
So the catalysts don't go off, do they? So if we come to the end of the summer and we've got summer grade catalyst left over, we can break it out. Yeah,
you store it nicely and then you can bring it out as and when you need it.
Yeah.
So there's no date on those ones.
Yeah.
Ideal. So what we do is we're going to decant the actual catalyst into our dispensing bottle, and then this has got a calibrated flute on the top here. So as you squeeze the bottle, the catalyst travels up the centre tube, and then fills our funnel up to the desired amounts. Now these are 10mm calibrations up to 80. So we can do in multiples of 10.
Yeah, that's it. And of course, while we're doing that, we're going to make sure we're wearing gloves, because that is actually a peroxide.
It is, yeah. And it does want to burn your skin. So if you do get it on your skin, just wash it off. And
obviously eye protection, just to protect you from any splashes. So
shall we do an example?
Yeah, let's do a temperature example. So if I throw a temperature at you.
Okay. Well,
actually, no. Let's tell you what. Even better still. Let's use that.
Yeah, I need my glasses.
So I'm going to put my glasses on.
So we've got a nice big catalyst chart here. So
16 degrees.
Okay, so first thing job is to decide which is the best catalyst. So we're going to find where 16 degrees falls, and there it does, between 14 and 24 degrees, and it's telling me I need to use a summer grade catalyst. Okay.
Yeah.
So the next one is the percentage. So if we come down to our percentage column here and we come across and we find, did we say 13 degrees?
16 degrees.
16 degrees. So we're falling between 13 and 19 degrees. So we're going to be using 2%. So we come down now to our quantity. So we're going to say, if we decant 1 litre of resin into my bucket, 1 litre, we're going to come along to our 2% column, and it's telling me we need 20ml.
20ml. So we squeeze the container up to the 20ml mark.
Yes. And we're going to pour that into our resin, and that is actually going to give you a working time of between 20 minutes and half an hour. Yeah. Now that is not exact science, because there's so many variables. We have wind, which might be cooling the roof down. You might be in direct sunlight,
deck
which is
temperature,
warming it all up.
Yeah.
So it's not an exact science, but it's going to give you a ballpark figure of
a good starting point, and then you can.
That's it.
Yeah.
And after you get a feel for it, then you'll know how much time you're going to do.
And it's worth keeping an eye on that temperature as you go through the day, because it could be that we started off with a lower temperature, and then suddenly that temperature builds, and we might find that we're reducing that ratio as we go.
Yes, it's wise to do that, because the last thing you want to do is catalyse a bucket of resin and suddenly realise that the temperature's raised and you can't get it down quick, and it's going to cost you money if you're going to set your resin hard. So
we've got on our chart a ratio between 1% and 4%.
Yes.
So how important is that 1% and 4%?
Very, very important. We need to have that chemical reaction, so we need to put a minimum of 1% in there, but we must not exceed 4%.
Yeah.
If we exceed 4%, then it starts affecting the resins. We're going to get gassing, it's going to overheat it, and you know, there's lots of problems involved.
So if I've got a really cool morning and I'm looking at this and I'm thinking 4%, you know, the temperature's a little bit below what we're saying, what can I do? Because I can't put more catalyst in, so what can I do?
So if it's a really cold day and you want to get on, which I mean, let's face it, time is money.
This time of year now,
you're not going to go home because it's a little bit cold.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start keeping our resins warm. What we do is if the heat isn't available in the atmosphere, then we're going to start putting the heat into our job, into our resins, if you can warm the decking up. So that's going to help with the acceleration of the curing time, which means you can get your roof done quicker.
Yeah.
So what we do is inject the heat into the job before we even start.
And then obviously in the summertime, if it's really, really hot, we're looking to keep our resins cool.
Exactly.
Take a little bit of heat out of it.
Yeah, so we're going to take the heat out of the resins. We're going to keep them in a nice shady area, nice cool area. Keep all the resins cool. If your deck temperature is exceedingly high, then we'll throw over tarpaulin just to keep the sun off it for a while. I'll tell you what we used to do. We used to start early in the morning and then have an early day down the pub in the afternoon.
Yep, always a good shout.
So we work between the temperatures of 4 degrees and 35 degrees. Bearing in mind that you know you're in direct sunshine most of the time when you're on a roof, so it can be unbearable.
Yeah.
So.
And I suppose one other last thing to say is don't put your catalysts in your products until you're absolutely ready, because once they go in, that process starts, the curing starts. We can't slow it down once it's in there.
Absolutely.
So only put the catalyst in when you're ready to start using.
So in the really warm months, you might be finding that you would only be able to get 4 litres down. If you say for example you decanted 8 litres, you could lose 4 litres. So only decant and catalyse what you feel you can get down.
You can always mix up more, but you don't want to be throwing it in the skip.
So we used to use multiple buckets on the roof with the right amounts in there, so we could just grab a bucket, throw the catalyst in there, the required measurement, and then do the roof. Because as we mentioned in a previous episode, we can clean all our buckets out and reuse them, so they don't go to waste.
So have you ever catalysed a full bucket?
No. Never been quick enough to do it.
No, it's fair to say. So always decant. Don't think that you're going to catalyse a full bucket and get to use it. The chances are you're not.
For the cost of pouring it into a bucket, well worth it. And you know, if you use a tin, you've got to use the whole tin.
Yeah, exactly.
So we always decant into buckets.
So just to recap as well, on the buckets of the product, you've got a catalyst chart. You can have a catalyst chart.
Yes.
And it's on the back of the printed buckets as well, and it's available on the website as well.
So you can find the catalyst charts in multiple areas.
Yeah. So there we go. Right. See you soon.
See you next episode.